Good morning, D1. Happy Thursday. Let's go ahead and let's see what our jobs are for today. So first things first, you can see we are celebrating Red Ribbon Week. Rather, we're participating in Red Ribbon Week. And we have our spirit days. And today is Superhero versus Villains or Villains Day. And so you can see Miss Walsh is wearing her Wonder Woman t-shirt. So you can go ahead, you can wear clothes or outfits or a t-shirt that reminds you of maybe a favorite hero or a villain if you're into villains. So you're going to go ahead and wear that, and remember you get a Class Dojo point for dressing up. You can see Miss Walsh's Bitmoji is even dressed up. So yeah. Let's go ahead, let's talk about what our jobs are, though, for today. It is October 29th. So first things first, we start with morning work. Remember, we're working with irregular plural nouns. And so we have some plural nouns with really funny rules, kind of silly rules that you would never think we would have, but we do. Like, for example, leaf, when we turn it into plural, it becomes leaves, right? We drop the F, we add a V, and add an ES. And so here we're going to see that you have a story, and your job is to highlight 5 irregular plural nouns. So that means you need to go through. The text is editable, meaning if I click on it and I were to press the backspace button, something would get deleted. Then you have a grumpy teacher. So make sure your fingers stay away from the backspace button. Okay? But you're going to go ahead. If for whatever reason I thought gardener was an irregular plural noun, I know it's not. I would highlight it. And then I would come over here and I'd select the highlighter tool. Yellow. Boom. I showed Miss Walsh. I highlighted it. But we know gardener is not an irregular plural noun. So you're going to go ahead. You need to find 5 irregular plural nouns. So you got to be looking real careful to see that you make sure you get the 5 irregular plural nouns, because I'm pretty positive Ms. Lopez and I were trying to trick you guys and put a couple of regular plural nouns in there. So keep that in mind. And then you have your Thursday journal prompt. Today is My Thoughts Thursday. So you are giving me your opinion and you are sharing your thoughts about an idea for a new invention. And so you are giving me your opinion as to what you think is what an invention, a tool, something that we need, something that isn't currently out there. What would we need as an invention, as a society? So think in your brain. This might take a little while to come up with an idea, or maybe it comes up right away. Maybe, who knows? And that's okay. So just think in your brain, what is something that you think we either need, something that can make people really happy, something that can make life a little bit easier. So go ahead, you are going to come up with an invention and give me 5 to 6 sentences about that invention. Then finally, we have our Zoom, 9 o'clock. I look forward to seeing you there. It always makes me happy to spend time with you guys. Then we're going to end around that 9:55 time because we have our Spanish Zoom. Then after Spanish, you are going to take a break. You deserve it. Back-to-back Zooms. You're probably tired. So take that quick break. After your break, you need to come right back and get started. You're going to start with your prefix and suffix practice. You click the YouTube icon. Remember, this is a daily job. I'm not going to bother clicking it because I know you guys know exactly what it looks like. Then we're continuing practicing main idea. So I'm going to go ahead and click the orange book. And you're going to see we're going to be doing main idea with a different type of story. So on Tuesday, we were talking about Harriet Tubman, and we were kind of following chronological order, text structure. Remember, we talked about chronological, compare and contrast. I'm trying to think, what else? Compare and contrast, chronological order, cause and effect, problem, solution. There it is. And so we talked about all those different types of text structure. And so we are going to be looking at another type of chronological text structure which I like to refer to as sequence. And sequence is like a 1, 2, 3 kind of pattern. And you can see that with this list right here, 1, 2, 3. We're following directions, and it's talking about how to make pancakes. And so this is like another branch off of chronological. So we know with chronological, we're following someone's story. And this one, we're actually following directions. So I call this one like a sequence, but it's kind of like a chronological. So, because you have certain steps you have to follow in order. So keep that in mind. So you're going to be listening or reading this story. Then you're going to go to slide number 2 and answer these questions. These questions are pretty similar to the questions we saw with Harriet Tubman. It's just going to be looking a little different just because we are following directions now. But don't let that trip you up. You guys are so smart. And you guys did so well with Harriet Tubman. So it's going to be basically the same thing because it is a similar text structure. So keep that in mind. It's going to ask, what is the topic of the text? Use text evidence to support your answer. Well, if I had one word to describe this whole reading, what would that one word be? I'm looking right at the picture of it. What would that be? And I would write, the topic of this text is blank. I'd go back and I'd highlight whatever word that reminded me of. I'd highlight it red, click it, and then I'd move on to my next question. Again, highlighting is part of the job. If I see you do not highlight, you're getting it sent right back. There's no excuse right now because we've practiced this tool many times. We have a video for how to do it if you forget, and that's in your technology resources. You can also just check the YouTube page. It's right there. You have tools to do it, and we've done it multiple times during Zoom, so you guys know exactly what the expectation is, and I look forward to seeing you prove yourself with your evidence. Then you have your personal narrative, rough draft, or not rough draft, goodness, final draft. We already finished our rough draft. Our final draft, and that is due on Monday. Remember, you have time to work on it. If you want to work on it during the weekend, that's totally fine. You have Monday night to turn it in. And just remember, over here you have your tips and tricks on the side for how to make sure that you are typing like a scholar, right? Because we're practicing these skills. Typing is not always an easy skill, but that's why we're practicing right now, so that way we can get really good in it. And so make sure you use these tips. You have the audio also to read the tips to you. Type your name, type your title, and then you are going to begin typing your personal narrative. Remember, I talked about this on Tuesday when I got a couple of friends already starting to submit. Remember, you need a total of 4 to 5 paragraphs. I should not see anybody's story talking about Gringotts. I had one friend that was using Miss Walsh's model for the final draft, and that must have been my bad, but at the end of the day, we talked about it, so just make sure you are talking about your vacation, not my vacation. I went on my vacation. I know my writing is up to a 3rd grade standard. I want to see your writing up to a 3rd grade standard. And so make sure you are writing about your family vacation. 4 to 5 paragraphs. And these slides are just extra if you need the space. Do not separate all your paragraphs onto a new page. This is just if you need the extra space. I had a friend that went on to the 2nd page. They were able to get 3 paragraphs on the first one and 2 on the 2nd page. So it's just there if you need it. But you do not have to use all the pages. Just keep that in mind. Then lunch. After lunch, you're going to come back. We're practicing multiplying with 2 and 9. I do not expect you guys to be perfect and just be like quick as a snap, know your multiplication facts yet, because the standard asks for you guys to be able to do that by the end of 3rd grade. So do I expect you to have all your multiplication facts for 2 and 9 memorized starting next week? Absolutely not. This is something that we're going to continue to practice by the end of 3rd grade, meaning your last day of 3rd grade, you should know your multiplication facts. And so we have a lot of time until we get to that point. And so you're just going to go ahead, you are going to click, you are going to type, you're going to use your tools to help you count by 2. So if I want to find out 2 times 2, I'm going to hold up 2 fingers, 2, 4. I'm going to skip count. 2 times 2 equals 4. I'm going to type 4 in this box. Then for 9s, remember, I know a couple friends were like, I still don't kind of get the trick. That's okay. We're still practicing, right? We're allowed to be confused right now because this is a brand new skill. So if you're a little confused about the trick, that is okay. Use your other tools if you need to. You have whiteboards, you have markers. Draw visuals, right? We'd practice arrays. So if I know the trick doesn't work well for me, I can go ahead and I can draw a picture, right? So if I want to do 9 times 2, well, 1 I can count by 2s, but if I wanted to do 9 times 3, I can draw 3 groups, and I can put 9 in each group. And in that way, I can count my groups, and I can figure out what 9 times 3 is. So that's one way I can do it, or I can draw an array as well. So use your resources. You guys have plenty of resources on how to figure out how to multiply. You can also do repeated addition, 9 plus 9 plus 9. Be flexible. Be a flexible learner. Use the tool or the strategy that's best for you. I know for me, the trick is pretty quick. So if I ever am like, 9 times 6, I put down my 6 finger. Okay, 5, 4, 54. So that's just something that's really helpful for me. And that's why I wanted to share it with you guys. But if it doesn't work for you, that's okay. That is totally okay. And yeah, so after you do your multiplication, you are going to have I Ready Reading, 30 minutes, and then you clean up for the day. Make sure your area looks nice. Again, please, please, please use these folders Miss Walsh gave you. I did not just get these folders willy-nilly. I got these folders for you guys to organize your work. So keep your work in your folder. If you have any paper work, keep it in your folder. Personal narrative. All these tools, they need to stay in your folder because that is what's going to make you successful as a learner, and make sure that you don't have to redo something, right? So yeah, that is going to be it for today. I look forward to seeing you at your Zoom in your superhero or villain gear. And yeah, all right, D1, have a great rest of your day.